I left out one important step in the video you're about to watch, and that is the camera raw filter. This is new. This is what I didn't know about before, and while I was walking you through these steps, I forgot to show you how to do it. So it's just a simple matter of taking the original image, jumping it to a new layer, Command J, and then right-clicking to the right of the name, converting it to a smart object, and then going under Filter, Camera Raw Filter, Shift Command A. I didn't know this was here. I never saw it. Oh my goodness. Okay, and that takes us into Camera Raw. I'm going to hit Escape and delete this layer because in the video you're about to watch, I show you how to dig into Camera Raw and see the settings that I played with. As with everything, one size does not fit all. This is not a magic layer stack that works with every image. Every image is different, and this is all about learning how to think in Photoshop. And now, on with our regularly scheduled program. When you're working with an image in Photoshop, I want you to remember that what you get, whether it's straight out of the camera or off of a site like Pexels, Unsplash, whatever, that you're getting copyright-free imagery to work with, is that the photo may look cool. I think this is a nice photo. I took it back in 2007. This is a little south of Monterey, and I thought it turned out great. But is it as good as it gets? Well, I just opened this up for the first time in I don't know how many years and played around with it because I wanted to share something new that was pointed out in Max that has been sitting in Photoshop for a while that I never noticed. And silly me, because I taught you how to use Camera Raw in a kind of a cumbersome way. It involved what for me is second nature because I've done it so many times, but for now is a trip through an adjustment layer that's non-destructive. How cool is that? The bottom line is, here is the original image, and here is after, I don't know, 15, 20 minutes of playing around. I wasn't in a hurry. I was just having fun. So I'm going to hold down Option and click on that eyeball, and let's before, after. Now, do you remember it being this washed out? The contrast is amazing. And I don't know if you noticed, but the scene kind of bulges out a little bit too. This is all part of adjustments I made in this layer stack. If I turn these off and come down to just turn it on Camera Raw, I'm going to share this file with you because I don't want you to walk through all this. When you double click on the Camera Raw filter, this is going to open up in Camera Raw, and you can see the settings that I played around with here. And then there are all these other channels. Yeah, played around with this channel, increased the sharpening a bit, played a bit with luminance, not too much. Didn't play with split toning at all. I did do a little lens correction. Okay, you can play with this to see what happens. No effects. Actually, dehaze. Well, let's see what happens. Didn't play with that, but hey, maybe that's a little better. We'll leave that there. Didn't play with the calibration and didn't play with any of the presets. So I'm going to click OK. And that actually changed my original. Now this is just one trip through Camera Raw. Now I think everyone could agree that's a better photograph by far. Hey, I didn't like this little cloud here, so I used a touch-up layer. I thought these rocks were pretty dark, so I just wanted to lighten them up to give a little more interest in the foreground. Dropped a vignette on this. You know, our cool vignette that we're using the properties panel in order to adjust to feather our layer mask. And if we click back on the vignette, all I did is just pull down in the center, just like I've shown you. Then I used a color lookup table. And if you wonder which one, well, which one was it? Well, all you have to do is double click to see which one it was. So this is the one. I just went down the list and stopped right here. I didn't look any further because I was just playing around. And then I added a very slight contrast curve. Not much, very subtle, but before, after, I can turn this off. We can do it right here. And is this perfect? Absolutely not. I think the oranges are a little too stark. Maybe the color lookup. Maybe I come here and lower this opacity. And maybe that helps this look a little more real. So, before, after. All of this, every single thing is non-destructive. Even this touch-up layer here, because we can delete that. What I want you guys to do is start taking some pride in your work. Start learning how to use Photoshop to take what at one time seemed like a good picture and now seems like a dull, drab, why did I ever even think that was good image? Don't settle.